Good evening. My name is Amy Sayer Batista, and tonight I'm reading a poem entitled 12 Empirical Proofs of Saudade, or The Imaginary History of a Real Emotion. Definition. Saudade is a Portuguese word used to describe an intense state of longing for someone or something that is absent, a melancholy or yearning. Note to reader. The dates included in this poem are estimates provided by academic research on documented encounters with saudade. 1. A restaurant in Macau serves a dish called Tres Saudade, or saudade three ways. A waiter arrives at your table with white pepper and olive oil, then clearly enunciates, saudade, saudade, saudade. Your choice. 2. Anthropolinguists from the University of Coimbra prove from fossil evidence that saudade was first spoken by trees on the island of Madeira. Within the petrified bark was lip and ash. It was later determined the trees became poets. Rootless and wandering, they fled to the sea. 3. From the website of the Journal of Luso, full title redacted, a time-lapse surveillance camera documents that ghosts invented saudade, but refused to go on record or be interviewed. 4. 1494. Columbus writes in his journal that among his many discoveries, the Admiral of the Sea has also discovered the discomfort and burning pain of saudade. Come to find out, it was syphilis. 5. 1601, witches in the Azores are burned for attempting to treat saudade with maracujá spiced with cumin. Scholars later correct the witches were more likely burned because the treatment failed. 6. 1883, a Portuguese fisherman adrift for 20 days off the coast of Massachusetts declares saudade has bones, much like a sardine, and must be chewed slowly, not to prick the throat when swallowed. 7. 1926, Lisboa. The fascists say saudade is banned, strictly prohibited from citizens and for government use only. In 1943 and again in 2018, we realize that fascists repeat themselves. 8. 1974, the Carnation Revolution reinstates saudade, understanding that the emotion, when hammer cracked at the knee, is made from human tissue and memory. 9. 1983, Lera. Saudade shapeshifts into two yellow canaries that decide to immigrate to New York City. One bird suffocates during the flight, while the other continued, only to shatter her breastbone against the Statue of Liberty. 10. 11. 1991, Angola. Saudade is vertigo and buried in an unmarked grave. 12. In 2019, saudade goes viral. In photos tweeted and shared around the world, saudade is shot dead on streets, in cars, while walking, while singing, while praising God and asking for help. Saudade stares back from phone screens, smaller than expected, torn and fetal pink. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carlo Matos, and I will be reading a poem called Sanitarium, and it comes from my most recent collection of poetry called We Prefer the Damned. Sanitarium. She was cool enough to buy me a Metallica guitar book for my birthday, the one with Sanitarium in it. It would take me my whole life to learn how to spend money, and even then, not without a modicum of panic. We skipped school, so I stashed my BMX bike in the bushes. But your mother came home early to find your shirt syncopated, a misplaced button, a misaligned collar giving itself away. She was angry. Except she wasn't. She always liked me, though. She could see I was going to make a break for it the second we traded shifts. She was trying to protect you. You, the girl who already knew escape and exile require staggering back roads, constant danger. Then again, maybe you were waiting for the found to be lost, like how a gift can be a punishment, like how time can be still, where no one leaves and no one will. Thank you.
Greetings from New York City. I'm Catherine Vaz. I thought I would read one poem for you from a collaboration I did with artist Isabelle Pavone called The Heart is a Drowning Object. In childhood, I learned the life-saving technique called drown-proofing. Most people die in water because they thrash and struggle. Instead, be a cork bobbing in place. Give a gentle kick to break the surface. Tilt back your face. Inhale. Sink below again. Tread vertically. Do not fight to keep your head above water. Pretend it's ballet. Help is coming. Every few breaths, sweep your arms in a breaststroke toward a shore. It's very slow progress. The water's murky, but there's lace on the tide. You're still alive. What's the worst that could happen, after all? The heart is already a drowning thing. Hysteria will kill you. The air, if it's dawn that finds you like this, might be apricot. They tasted so sweet once, didn't they? Apricots from a tree, made of water and sun, with the genius ability to solidify into that orange coral town. That alone was reason to live, wasn't it? Glance up when you swallow more air. The skeleton of a human hand is said to resemble the bones in the wings of birds. Watch them overhead. Touch is everywhere if you imagine it so. The people who want you safe are searching for you. Hold on. Even before I met you, I knew I'd marry you. I was patiently suspended, teaching myself how to love you. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, I'm Laura Gillard, and I'm going to be reading you a poem from my new poetry collection, Fourth World Woman. The name of my poem is called These Stones. After the Campfire, Paradise Pines, California. Earth Day is coming soon, and as many of you know, we've had many fires in California. And the campfire is one that destroyed my family's home. My family had passed on, but the home itself was there and until the fire came, as with many homes in the area. I follow behind a backhoe, see the burnt scarring, a desolate landscape of ash heaps, vanished lives. In a vacant lot of cinder, I remember my mother's camellia tree, how she liked Gerber daisies, my grandmother's tea rose. Granite binds me to this property, the stones my uncle gave to my father to stabilize the embankment. I choose to believe something still breathes here. When I call out, I hear a heartbeat. Fierce rocks pull away from the ground, and I remember who I am. These stones on the hillside cover a stubborn root, a long vein, blood of my blood, alive deep inside. In the passage of my remaining days, I'm here to survive myself, grow wings to fly through smoke. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sam Pereira, and I'd like to read a poem recently written called The Occupation. has to do a little bit with what's been going on in the world lately. The occupation. There was nothing random here. The dog whined. The alarm had not been set. The transubstantiation story still occasionally cropped into his mind. The woman he had locked horns and other things with touched him every day and made him open the apothecary jar of coffee and plant his hand around the pot. He loved the discrepancies of mourning, the idea that someone in Kharkiv could actually give a shit about the taste of his cinnamon roll, or that there'd be a price to pay. The city seemed alive now that his oft-extended trip was doing box office once again. The old Martin guitar on the table was enough to make him cry. He would write a song about the troubles over on the other side, put in something about a broken romance, a bottle of beer left next to the bed, a bomb or two, some blood. Thank you.
My selection is a poem by José Saramago, the 1998 Nobel laureate in literature. The poem is from his collection Os Poemas Possíveis, the possible poems. My selection is Poema A Boca Fechada, poem with closed mouth. I will not say that silence suffocates and smothers me. I am silent. I will remain silent, for the language I speak is of another race. Consumed words accumulate, dammed up, a cistern of dead waters, acidic sorrows in transfigured slime, seep from beneath where there are twisted roots. I won't say that not even the effort to say they deserve words that don't say how much I know in this retreat where they don't know me. Not only sludge drags, not only mud, not only animals float, dead, fears, bloated fruits in clusters interlaced, in the black well from which fingers reach. I will only say, crisply collected and mute, that whoever shuts up when I shut up will not be able to die without saying everything.
Hello, everyone. My name is Paula Neves, and I'm going to read one of my favorite poems from my chapbook, Capricornucopia, The Dream of the Goats. It's called Train to Lisbon, and it's a pantoum. We took a train down the Portuguese coast and got drunk. On the wine and pastries we carefully packed in the trunk. We hoisted everywhere on our 2-week Silver Coast junket. The small bottles of Tinto and the pastéis eased our post-argument funk. We stopped talking long enough to ease the wine and pastries from the trunk, relieved after missing the express and waiting for hours in a park in Kasseng. The small bottles of red and the sweets eased our post-argument funk, better than the stale bread we'd bought fresh in Sintra the previous day. We waited sullenly for hours in that park in Kasseng. That's not how it happened, I hear you object, because we'd found Byron, not bread, in Sintra the previous day. But lyrics aren't much concerned with the facts. That's not how it happened, one always objects, and sustenance is just one of the fictions of our days. Besides, lyrics aren't much concerned with the facts. So this is what I mean put a different way. Bread is just one of the fictions of that day, as was that cumbersome love, I mean trunk, and the sweet drunken talk. So this is what I mean put a different way. When the train got to Lisbon, I walked. Thank you.